Hello everyone, my name is TV Kumar and I am from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. Today I will be discussing about fundamental rights and popular sovereignty. So let's start the presentation. Popular sovereignty. What the definition of this is, popular sovereignty is the principle that the authority of the government should come from the consent of the people expressed through their represented elected. So, the application of popular sovereignty. In a democratic society, the people have the power to change their government and hold it accountable to its citizens. So, what are the challenges of this? The challenge is to balance power sovereignty to protect the individual rights of the people. So, in this slide, we'll be looking at fundamental rights. What do you mean by fundamental rights? Fundamental rights are the basic rights and freedom that guaranteed to all citizens by the Constitution and or international law. Here are some examples of it: freedom of speech, right to a fair trial, right to privacy, freedom to religion. These are the few examples of fundamental rights. These are applicable to every citizen who are uh, represented from a country. In this slide, we'll be talking about relationship between popular sovereignty and fundamental rights. So there are three things mainly in this. These are representation, dissent, and judicial review. Representation. Popular sovereignty gives people the right to elect representatives who will protect their fundamental rights. So it's important that citizens participate in democratic processes. In this representation, people are given the chance to select the representatives who can lead them. Dissent. Fundamental rights protect the ability of citizens to challenge the government and dissent against laws or policies they disagree through the peaceful protest or activism. Judicial review. The judiciary plays a crucial role in protecting fundamental rights and overturning laws that are against people and ensuring that popular rights override the individual rights. In this slide, we'll be looking into some examples of popular sovereignty in action. Marriage equality 2015. After years of activism and advocacy, the US Supreme Court recognized the right of same sex couples to get married, a major victory for fundamental rights advocates. Arab Spring. Citizens in numerous Arab countries organized democratic protests to challenge authoritarian governments and demand political reform, showing the power of popular sovereignty. And the last one, Black Lives Matter. Protests across the US brought attention to the brutality and systematic racism, spewing and policy change at the national level. So in this slide, we'll be looking into the effects of infringement of fundamental rights. These are stifling dissent, marginalizing groups, undermining democracy. So let's look into them one by one. Stifling dissent. When people don't have the right to speak out or challenge the government policies, it can lead to repression, censorship, or even violence. Marginalizing group. When a certain group of individuals are denied fundamental rights, it can lead to discrimination, inequality, and social exclusion. One of the examples for this is the ongoing Black Lives Matter Act in US. Undermining democracy. Fundamental rights are essential to functioning of democracy, and without them, citizens may lose faith in their government, leading to social instability. So, moving on to the next slide. In this slide, we will be discussing why popular sovereignty and fundamental rights are important for democracy. For any basic democratic country to function, these are the three important things they need to have: a democratic institution, citizen participation, and human rights. So let's look into them one by one and see why they're important for a democratic country. Popular sovereignty ensures that power comes from the people while fundamental rights protects their interest of individuals and minority, creating a balance of power in democratic societies. As in democracy, the people elect their leaders and choose who lead them. So the next one is citizen participation. When people participate in the democratic process, they build a sense of ownership and connection to the government, which strengthens their legitimacy of the system. All people should participate in a democratic government for the functioning of the country which makes it great. The third one is human rights. By protecting fundamental rights, democratic societies can commit to their interest of the people and dignity of every person, regardless of their race, gender, religion, or their caste. So let's look into the conclusion and what we learned from this presentation. Key takeaways. Popular sovereignties and fundamental rights are two of the most important pillars of our democratic societies, ensuring that power comes from the people and individuals are protected from abuse by the government. What are the challenges faced by a democratic country? Though these concepts are critical to a democracy, they continue to face new challenges and threats which require constant vigilance and engagement by the citizens and policymakers. So I thank you everyone for watching this video and I hope you have a good day. Thank you.